first lesson I learnt in underwater was on the very first cast. Now, I've always prided myself in being the best at loading a hybrid feeder. And I've always had a bit of a theory. So the way I like to do it is I'll load it in a second, but I like to put the first layer on really hard, and then I put your hook bait on top, and then put the second layer on a bit softer. My idea being first layer stays on. Obviously, it doesn't really matter how long that first layer stays in because my hook bait's free before that breaks down anyway. But that second layer, I always think, nice fast breakdown. Well, I certainly got a fast breakdown because the top layer, I knocked it off on the cast, and it was a good cast.
Oh,
Yes!
do not move that.
That is perfect.
Oh my.
Look at the few pellets come off it. See them? Steve, so what we thought was a little plume of pellets coming off your feeder wasn't, it was the actual top layer.
The whole top layer?
Yeah, your hook bait's totally free. Your hook bait is 4 inches past your feeder. Completely separate to the pile.
Sometimes with a feeder, whether it be a hybrid method or whatever, you cast, and I can tell by the way it hits the water, it doesn't go in with that nice plop, looks as though it might have gone in sideways, etc. And I might have knocked that top layer off. This wasn't the case. I knocked the top layer off because I hadn't put it on hard enough. So what I had to do was put my first layer on nice and hard, hook bait on top, and then literally that second layer has to go on as hard again. So normally I'd have just given it like 1, maybe 2 squeezes like that, chucked it out. But what underwater showed me, maybe in shallow water it might not have happened, but in sort of 8 to 12 foot of water, I'm going to knock that first layer off. So it's a case of giving it a really good squeeze, making sure everything's really compact.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
There
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Look, that's all right, Steve. Yeah, we can cope with that. Yeah, and then if you go down a little bit. Where's this one? This
Yeah,
one. That's it.
Oh, look at that breaking down.
Right, sort your camera out
Put that on.
Does that one break down better?
Yeah.
quickly, but everything stayed intact.
I plugged that a lot harder.
Yeah.
Right, mate, that looks to dog's danglies.
And another point I will make here is, if you're going to load your hybrid feeder in this manner, and it needs to be loaded in this manner to know that you're getting your bait down, your pellets have to be spot on. If they're too dry or too wet as in overstick it, they're not going to break down. So a little tub of water on your side tray so you can just test your pellets and just know that you're fishing effectively. One other point I will make is, even loading it this way, going to lose an odd micro, and you do see odd micros just fluttering down in the middle of the screen when we're filming.
Where's the feeder?
Leave it there!
Do not move that feeder. Oh, maybe a little tiny. No, leave it.
Don't move the feeder.
It's
I don't mind that. Carp, I think, they mill around just off bottom or up in the water. So an odd micro, bit of scent coming off on the cast isn't a bad thing. But what is a bad thing is knocking off the whole of the top layer. Because what happened was, knocked the whole of the top layer off. I ended up with my feeder here, hook bait sitting behind it. Yeah, is the wafter sitting up at all?
Yeah, it's fishing. It's fishing fine.
It's not sitting up how you would like it to, I don't think.
Still a chance of a bite, but not the presentation I'm looking for. So the first lesson I learned was load that feeder, both layers, nice and hard, get the bait down so you know you're fishing effectively.